up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut, and welcome to the 2022 Cinco de Mayo Derby Day Special. That's right, it's Derby. Hold on. Let's change the music up here. That's better. So it's Derby Day. This is the greatest day of the year for lawn care. North to south, to east to west. Well, maybe up north, maybe you're mowing by now, but for the most part, all of you should be out enjoying the mow. And with that, I got fully loaded for this week's video. We're going to start off with Hydretain. I like to do this every single year and show you how it actually works, and then also compare the liquid versus the granular, something I've never done before. And then I've got a quick update on my new philanthropy initiative that I know you're going to like to hear. And then I follow up with some very important weed whacking tips because I know that most of you are doing it wrong. And then in the end, I'm going to bring you a public service announcement because, as you guys know, for many years I've been burning wheat, but there's a big problem that you didn't know about that I just discovered that I'm going to share with you. And so with that, let's get right into it. But before we get going too crazy, look at what I found in my lawn yesterday.
All right, it's time for another episode of Whose Poop Is This? Looks like they did a little crack drag right through there. See that? Got a good paint job going. Definitely enough fiber in that diet. Oh, it's still a little moist. Oh, it's not as deep as I thought it was. It's only mostly on the surface here. By the way, this is my soil probe, and this is an exact illustration of why you should never ask to use another man's probe.
All right, here we are, back here behind the office over by there, and I'm gonna go ahead and give us a fun test. I love doing these, I do them every year. Get some potted plants, potted flowers, test the Hydretain. This year, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do water only on this one, and then we're gonna do Hydretain liquid on this one, and then we're gonna do the Hydretain granular on that one. I will tell you the Hydretain granular smells like success, so you don't wanna use this on indoor potted plants, but outdoor is fine. But really, I'm doing this to show you the magic of Hydretain, because it'll do the same thing in a lawn, it's just a lot easier to see it in flowers. So here's how I laid things out. The control on the left got a bottle of water. The one in the middle here got a bottle of water, but then I put in a cap full of Hydretain and poured that in. And then the one on the right here, I sprinkled the granular Hydretain in and then used a bottle of water to help start watering that in. Then I went back to the other end and put another bottle of water in the far left one. Then I went to the middle one and put another plain bottle of water in that one to simulate watering things in more. And then I went to the one on the right and put another bottle of water on top of that to further water in the granular. Okay, so here we are 10 days later, and what I did is I watered all of the plants equally every day for a week, and then I just let them go, and it took 3 days to get this result.
So there's the granular. There's the liquid. And here's the water only.
And so again, just to reiterate, I watered regularly every day for 7 days, and then I simulated like going on a vacation over a weekend and didn't water for 3 days. And you can see where the Hydretain kicked in. The liquid and the granular work exactly the same as far as what I can see here. There you go, and that shows and illustrates exactly what will happen in your lawn. It's just easier to see in a potted plant because it's a much bigger structure. So if you're wondering about getting Hydretain to help you reduce your watering or help the watering that you do go further, there's the proof. So again, I did this with potted plants, but I really want you to see the results, and it's a bigger plant, so it's easier to see that way, but you'll get the exact same type of result when you use this in the lawn. Just remember, if you get the liquid, you have to water it in immediately. You do not want it to dry on top of the lawn. The granular does give you a little bit more leeway there, and you can water that one in 24 to 48 hours after application, and you'll still get the same good results. Also, for those of you who saw last week's video and the very high production value, oh, hang on a second. Okay, that's better. So if you missed last week's video, very high production value, big philanthropy piece at the end. A lot of you have asked, are all of your videos going that way? And the answer is, well, they're very expensive, so not right now. But yes, I'm working towards it, and I actually gave 2 pitches this week to very, very large tool companies. 100% of you would know who these companies are if I gave their names. One of them gave me a verbal yes already. We're just going to start working over the details here in the coming week. And the other one, their agency gave me the verbal yes, yes, yes. They just have to go now and talk to the client. So hopefully that's 2 more lined up. They're going to be bigger, better. They're going to be out of town. We're going to go across this country and we're going to make great things happen for people. So stay tuned. If you haven't seen last week's video, check it out up there in the eye right there. All right, y'all, some quick weed whacking tips. Now, I have the safety guard off of this for purposes of this video so I can illustrate a point here. You should always keep the safety guards on your equipment. So the first thing is when you're weed whacking, take note of what is your comfortable position. For me, I like to have right hand on the trigger, left hand on the handle, and I like to weed whack across my body. And the biggest mistake I see, and the reason most of you don't like weed whacking, is because you're doing it incorrectly. You actually will go along an edge and you're doing one of these motions like this. Now I'm exaggerating it, but I see that's what you do, and that's not how you weed whack. The way you weed whack is in a fluid motion. And if you do that, then it becomes like painting or artwork, and you'll feel a lot better about it and you'll get a lot better control. And that can take a little bit of time to develop that skill, but I promise you, if you really practice at it, you'll get good at it. And some of you might actually prefer to walk forward when you go rather than backward. And that's where the spinema thingy, or the direction of your head, matters. And when I say the direction of your head, I mean which way does it orient? Clockwise or counterclockwise? You can see this ego here, it orients clockwise. It's important to note that for one specific reason. So for me, the orientation of my hands is non-negotiable. In other words, I can't weed whack with my left hand on the trigger and my right hand on the handle. Sounds like a rap song. I can't do that. I've got to be this way. And also, I can't weed whack on the same side of my body like this. I need to be cross body. So those are just things that are non-negotiable for me. And because of that, now I'm going to be limited on if I can walk forward or backward, because I don't want to kick clippings into the beds. And keep in mind, this is a clockwise spinning head. Clockwise spinning. So I'm sure you could see it when I was walking forward and the head is spinning that way clockwise. It's kicking the clippings back out into the lawn, and you'll see there's very few in there. Now let me show you what happens when I walk backwards. Remember, the head's still spinning the same way, but I'm going to walk backwards. And you can see, well, I didn't do a very good job, but you can see it kicked the clippings into the bed. And that is because, again, the head is spinning this way, but I'm walking against it, so it's kicking the clippings back. So that's something to consider when you're weed whacking, is the direction that the head spins and the direction you like to walk. I just happen to like to walk forward, so this actually works out really well for me. But if you're somebody that likes to walk backwards, you may want to get one that the head spins a different direction. And gas versus battery, they're all a little bit different. I don't know why, if it's the way they're tooled or geared, or I don't know, centrifugal force, something, but they are all a little bit different. I just happen to match up really nice with this Ego, which is great with me because it's the highest quality weed whacker I've ever used. That little segment was inspired by my friends Rob and Sarah from the Belts in Boxes tool channel. I'm going to link them up there in the eye and down in the description below. Make sure you go over and say hello to them and let them know that the Lawn Care Nut sent you. All right, here's a fun one with a little bit of an update. So years ago, I introduced you all to the blowtorch, the weed burner torch, and you guys realized that I really like to burn weed. Do you like to burn weed? If you do, let me know in the comments below. It's definitely a more environmentally friendly way to get rid of those nasty crackweeds. But something I've learned over the years is that some weeds will actually get worse when you kill them this way. Here's a little spot here around one of my palms, and what you're seeing here is some oxalis, but it's actually covered by some spurge. Now, both of these, what happens when you heat them up is they will blow off seeds, and I'll try to slow some down here. It's the oxalis mostly, but the spurge will also do it. The immediate heating up like that, it basically just makes them fire off their seeds everywhere, which then makes the problem worse. So this is one of those cases where actually using the weed burner torch is not a good thing. Even though it saves you having to use the chemical, it actually causes you a bigger problem down the road.
Also, I want to show you my contribution for the bees here in May.
Well, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this little video has been helpful to you. I hope you've learned a little something, and I hope that no matter where you are, you got to enjoy the Kentucky Derby today.